Hey, y'all, and welcome to another gathering of the Lowcountry Book Club. We're so glad you could join us today. I'm Susan Boyer. I write Seaside Southern Mysteries set right here in the Lowcountry, where I actually am today. I'm at Isle of Palms for a few days.
I'm the other half of Two Southern Susans, and I'm Susan Zurenda, and I'm the author of Bells for Eli and The Girl from the Red Rose Motel, and a new novel slated for uh, next August. So I'm thrilled to be here with, of course, my partner in crime, and we are so happy to have Victoria Benton Frank with us today.
Hi, thank you for having me.
We have such a treat. We are joined today by USA Today best-selling author Victoria Benton Frank. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
She's here to talk about her brand new novel, which we've all read by now, The Violet Hour, which was our book of the month this month, which returns us to Sullivan's Island in Charleston, pluff mud, salt air, family drama, and all.
And if you love Victoria's debut, My Magnolia Summer, you already know how beautifully she brings Sullivan's Island to life, like so many, like her mom before her, and really good low country authors. And with The Violet Hour, she gives us a heroine that you're going to root for, or you already have, if you read the novel, laugh with, and maybe want to get a little frustrated with too.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to spend the next half hour or so talking about Violet, Allie, Gran, family food, the Low Country, and maybe even who Victoria would cast if Hollywood came calling. We'll also sneak in a little craft talk because you know Susan and I can't resist. Also, Susan may want to talk about metaphors and whatnot because y'all may recall she was an English teacher for many years.
That drives Susan crazy.
I bet.
I'm always doing the analysis because that's what I spent my whole life doing.
Right.
Picking it all out.
Yeah.
Tune in whatever time it is.
Okay.
Eat what you want to eat, drink what you want to drink, and
Diet Coke for me.
yes. Please put in comments and questions, and let's have at it.
Let's make Victoria feel welcome.
Yes.
Okay. Victoria, thank you for being here with us. To get us started, tell us, please, what was the inspiration for the Violet Hour?
Well, it went, like all good books, it goes in different directions. You know, the book sort of, I intended it to be about one thing, and then once I started writing it and my life bled into it, it sort of took a second life. Initially, it was going to be a sequel to my debut novel, but I hopped publishing houses and they wanted me to write a standalone book. So it is within the same universe, but it's a continuation of what happened in the first book, but I wouldn't classify it as a sequel. I wrote about 200 pages of it and felt like it needed a little bit more meat. And so the character Allie, I wrote on the side because I was dealing with grief. And I think Violet was too, but I started thinking about what grief really is and how it affects people in different ways, and how grief is not necessarily just the death of a parent, but it can also be a huge disappointment in your life, like a job that didn't happen, or loss of a child, or a breakup. And so I wanted to explore how grief changes people and shapes people. And so the character Allie came to me. And it's funny because my first book is one point of view, my second book is 2 point of views, and the one I'm writing now is 3. I don't mean to do that. It just sort of happened. But yeah, so Allie is loosely based on what I was going through at the time that I was writing the novel, and it was my way of healing. So I think the book was very therapeutic for me to write. So inspiration is always what's in my living room, I think.
Well, that's probably true for a lot of us.
Yes.
So that kind of segues into this first question I'm going to ask. Allie has a tremendous desire to follow in her successful mother's footsteps, and yet be her own person in the design world at the same time. So that seems to mirror to me your mother's success as an author and your desire, as you're already doing, to both live up to her success and make a name for yourself independently in the book world. And also, I think, like Allie, who is adjusting to life in the South. And you grew up right in New Jersey, and you have established a kind of dual citizenship
yes,
as a Southerner. So how how much is Violet's friend Allie patterned after you, or
A lot.
the connection?
A lot. But there are differences. Like, for example, I grew up a Yankee, but like not really. I grew up saying y'all, and I grew up in a Southern household, and I actually never really felt like I
Right.
was home until I was here with my people.
Mhm.
So I'm a Southerner through and through, unless I get
Right.
angry. You know, I spent time in Jersey. But I think
You were
Allie,
born there, and that's about it.
that's it. Yeah, it's on the birth certificate, and then I cut ties with the Yankees. I think, let me adjust myself here. I think Allie and I are a lot alike, but we have differences as well. I think she is a lot more insecure than I am, but she's younger than me. You know, I'm almost 40, and I deal with things probably a little bit more pragmatically than Allie does. She's much more emotion based, where I'm not a very emotional person. I am in my work, but in life, I take a step back. I call my therapist. I like talk to my girlfriends about it. You know, I really try when I'm dealt with something that really hurts me, I try to think about it from all sides, where Allie is very emotion first. She's reactive.
Right.
But I think a lot of young women start off that way. And I
That's
think,
right.
yeah. And I think when you lose a parent, like certainly, especially a mother, who is public, and you have to grieve in public, which is a very unique thing. Anyone who's lost a parent can tell you, like, you're never really fully grown up until your mom dies. And then I think it comes at you. I don't know that I processed my mother's death until last year. And I think it's because I had a baby. I was pregnant when I lost her. And so I was in like this like survival mode,
Sure.
you know, and then there was COVID. And then like my kids there was just so much going on that needed me to just like compartmentalize that. And my dad started dating. And so that really threw a wrench, you know, for me.
Yeah.
I mean, just full disclosure, it was really hard. So dealing with that is how Allie, and then I got to do some things as Allie that I would never do. You know?
Right.
And
It probably was cathartic for you to create Allie, and it's wonderful for us that Allie is created too, because it's what you're going through. Even though you did have a famous mother, I think C.S. Lewis said this, you know, that you never grow up until your mother is gone,
because that's a parachute.
it's a universal sort of experience, and we
Yeah.
get to experience that with Allie.
Mhm.
Okay, so how about Violet herself? How much of you is in Violet?
You know, I think all of me is in all of my characters to some certain extent. I think Violet and I are different. She's a lot quieter and more reserved, but I'm like that in my personal life. Like when I'm on stage, I'm Victoria Benton Frank, then like I can do that. I'm extroverted and all that. But like in real life, I'm quiet. Her and I are similar. We're both very calculated people. Like we think about what we're going to do before we do it. We have plans. And like her, I really don't like being wrong. So I think being wrong for her being with the wrong guy, doing the wrong thing, playing by the rules. I don't play by the rules, but she does. So like when that banana peel happens for her, I think that I would react in the same way, where I'd shut down a little bit. I think that's what Violet did. She had this plan, and then it didn't go the way she thought, so she just shut down.
Right.
So in that way we're similar, but you know, she's a lot more reserved. She's a lot more sweet. She's a lot more, you know, traditionally Southern, where like she's going to do the right thing, follow the rules, even if it hurts her, you know. And so I think she's finding her own swag, her own, you know, way to be, her edge. She's finding her edges.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. So we've had some questions from the group ahead of time.
Yeah.
And Pat, do I say, is it Dupuy? D-U-P-U-Y? I think maybe that's right, but D-U-P-U-Y. She wants to talk a little bit about Chris. I mean, Chris took the Japan job. I mean, even though Violet was pregnant, and he didn't propose. So her question is, did his character really change that much in Japan, or why did he come home? Did something happen to make him flee? She's interested in some background or some perspective on him.
So he had a whole backstory that some of it made into the novel and some of it didn't. But I think in Chris's perspective, he was going to Japan, and that was his way of supporting her. He was making a big change. You know, that's his contribution. I think a lot of men traditionally feel and historically feel like their contributing is making the money. and then the woman raises a child, and then they're both doing work, right? But of course, that's not true. So we're finding out now that like raising children need more than one parent present. And I think Chris took the job and did these things. And I think in his mind, he was going to propose when he came home. So in my mind, he slipped up he had an affair with the boss's daughter. And so he got fired. And so he told her that he was coming back to do, some work and whatever, but he had completely destroyed his career, which is why that sort of was that was a catalyst for him being so selfish and impulsive and running around. I think his ego was really damaged by that. So he felt like he needed to pretend to be another guy and be really, suave and all those kind of things. Like he's slippery. He's a slippery.
He is. I mean, he's still selfish.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's very selfish.
I mean, and I think, he's slippery and selfish. And the men in my book either are really, really bad or really, really good. There's no middle area.
No middle ground.
Okay, so Sullivan's Island, let's talk about Sullivan's Island for a minute. Sullivan's Island has evolved, shall we say.
Yes.
How did you balance nostalgia with the reality of growth and development in the novel?
That's a great question. I don't know how I did it, but what I try to do when I talk about Sullivan's Island specifically is I think all beaches, once you're on the beach, all those $1 million homes are behind you. Everyone's looking at the same ocean and they're digging in the same sand and they're making the same sandcastles. So the memories that you make with your family and the things you eat around the dinner table are what creates nostalgia. So Sullivan's Island now is like Beverly Hills. When I grew up, it was it was a sandbar. I mean, it was like a dirty sandbar. Like, I don't really know why anyone, I love it, but it was kind of quiet and unheard of. And so now it's this big flashy place. But like I said, I mean, I'm doing the same thing when I'm on that beach as I did when I was a little girl. I still got my metal chair that I pull out and my umbrella, and I got my book and my feet in the water, and my kids are in front of me building the same sandcastles that I did. So I think beaches are nostalgic, and I think they bring everybody to their childhood.
Right.
But Josh, I haven't been to Sullivan's in a lot of years. My best friend growing up, her family had an old 19th century house there.
Oh, fun.
Oh, it was wonderful.
Yeah.
And so I just haven't, she died a lot of years ago, and I haven't been in a long time. I didn't know it's become like a lot of McMansions.
I mean, they're beautiful. Like,
I'm sure they're beautiful.
Yeah.
But the ambiance of the old, like this 19th century Victorian.
Yeah. So my dad lives in one of those homes. He lives in one of the older homes. And I think it's really cool because he's preserving that. And I think people who live in the historical homes, the big grand ones, I think those are the ones that are still being preserved and
wonderful.
And all that stuff. However, all those little fun beach shacks, people are knocking those down because honestly, they're from the 50s. They're not like, they're not worth, they probably should get knocked down, And so in that.
Yeah.
But
I love that old atmosphere of the real beachy.
I know.
Beach place.
The sand flea motels. I love those. Like, I love that. And like, there's something really nice about going to the beach and not having to put on makeup and getting so you can be like dirtball hair, and like,
that's right. The beach.
Yeah. Like, I don't love that it's, so fancy now, but it's great food and good stuff. So I'm not angry at it. Like, it's better off, but it's sometimes a part of me feels like.
All right. So I'm going to have to go now and look and see how it all is.
Yeah.
You'll be happy. It's beautiful.
Okay. Good.
No one's mad at it. The best
okay. That's good. That's good.
Sullivan's Island. Like, it's so cool. So I'm happy and great restaurants too. So good stuff.
Probably a lot more than back in the day. Is Poe's still there?
Poe's is still there, and so is Dunleavy's. They're still holding court on the corner.
Good.
I'm actually going to the Obstinate Daughter for a late lunch when we finish up. So
yay!
Oh, nice.
Oh my gosh, they have the best pastas there. I love their pastas.
That's been since my time, but I've heard about it.
It's great. My husband actually helped open it. He was on the opening team. Yeah. Fun little fact. Yeah.
Neat. Is he in a restaurateur?
He's a chef. Yeah.
Wonderful.
So, yes. And he's in between jobs right now. He's been spending time at home, which has been a little, anyone with a retired husband can commiserate. It's a lot. It's like he's everywhere, but it's good. I mean, it's been good for the kids and it's nice to have him home, but he's about to start a new job in November. So that'll be a new adventure for him. But I think eventually we'll open up something in the area.
Oh, wonderful. Well, you're in the right place to do it. I believe Charleston's the foodie capital of the world now.
I think we're getting there. It's for sure. I know that there's a lot of rumblings in the world right now about who's going to have the first Michelin star in Charleston. So that's yeah. And I think once that happens, we're gonna skyrocket to that.
Yeah, even more. Even though I haven't been to Sullivan's, both of my daughters, live one's in Charleston and one's in Somerville. So I'm in that area a lot.
Yeah.
So anyway, the food is grand. Yes. Well, speaking of grand, if Hollywood came calling, and I'm sure it will eventually.
I wish that. I hope so. I got bills to pay.
We wondered whom you might cast as Violet.
I think I'm at the ripe old age now of 40 where I don't know what's cool anymore. So I think I would trust. I would love if my book was the book that made somebody's career who was an undiscovered. Like, I think that would be really, really cool. But I just hope that whoever it was would understand the Charleston accent. Mm-hmm. Like that. I think I'm more concerned with their acting ability than who they are and how they look. Like
Sure.
So I don't know.
Get it. Yeah. An authentic Southern.
Yes. I'd love to see Reese Witherspoon in any of my novels in any single way, because I just love her. And I think she preserves Southern women in such a great, true way. But I'm open. I mean, I'd love to see it on the screen. I don't care. Just does the check clear,
Yeah. That's the way I would feel.
Like, y'all can have it. You want to slap wings on her and make her a fairy and popular? Go ahead.
We're good.
I don't care. I mean, what I'd really like to do at some point, and this is a dream of mine, is I'd love to take my mother's books and my books and come up with like a segue book and have the story be about her and I as writers writing these worlds, instead of it actually being so like, it's still fiction, but it's mostly about like what it's like to live in a house of writers. And so I think it would be an interesting movie to do a movie about two women, two generations who are doing the same thing.
Oh, it would.
Yeah.
There's been a number of movies in the last decade or so that are about authors.
Yeah.
In their situation.
Yeah. And a part of me is like, it's not that interesting. Like, I don't know why anyone is interested.
But it is. Well, maybe because I'm an author and English teacher, I watch every one of them that I find out about.
I love it too. But like, in my perspective, I'm like, I'm so boring. I'm in like sweats half the time. Like, you see me now with my glasses doing this for hours and hours and hours. And it's like, it's not. But
but
I think it's
no, you're not boring.
Yeah. And I feel like it's the lives that storytellers live that's interesting, because the life around us inspires us to tell stories. And so that's the meat. But if you were to watch me write every day, you'd be bored out of your skull, because it's just me and water.
Yeah. Any of us, but that would be an amazing book. I hope you do that, and I hope they make a movie out of it. I can see it now.
Yeah, I think it'll be good.
So I want to go back to we touched on food a minute ago.
Yeah.
So if you could borrow one of Violet's relatives for Thanksgiving, who would it be?
Gran.
And who would drive everybody crazy?
Gran, for sure, because she'd keep everything in line and make everything beautiful. And I would keep Lily the hell out of my damn kitchen, because she would be drunk and causing drama. And I'm not about that. But if I could cook with any character, I'd want to cook with Jimmy, the gay best friend, because I think that would just be hysterically fun. He's the best. Like, everyone wants a Jimmy.
Don't we though? I actually kind of have one of those in my life. And
God, lucky. Send him to Charleston. I'm looking. I need one.
They make the best friends.
They do. Yeah,
they do.
Super loyal. And Jim is like that. I mean, he stands. Originally I had the scene where he goes to Nantucket with the girls, and then I rewrote it that he sponsored it, and there was this beautiful scene that had to be cut, but he introduces himself to the father and says, I've always been both of their man. Like, and I'm really excited. I belong to both of them.
Oh,
so I love that, because I think that Jimmy does. He's got his relationship with Maggie, and then he has his friendship with Violet. It's a little bit different. Mm-hmm. With Violet, he's more of a big brother, and with Maggie, he's like a bad girl. So like the two of them get into trouble together, but like he's sort of a rock for Violet. And I think that's interesting to see his duality. And also, we're different. People are different for different people. And I think that's other relationships. It's cool to see the perspective of a character from somebody.
That's true. That's true. We do. We have different selves that connect with different people, and that's
For
very,
sure.
very, 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 to some extent anyway.
Yeah.
Very, very
Yeah.
true.
I mean, I can certainly say that my relationship with my little brother is very different than the relationship I have with everybody else, you know?
There you go. You're the same person and you're not the same person
Right.
at the same time.
Actually, I think I'm pretty much one of the things that I kind of pride myself on is I'm exactly the same with everybody around me, but that doesn't mean that I'm filling different voids for different people. But
Sure.
with my brother, I am truly another person.
Oh, interesting.
Because
Okay.
I'm his big sister.
Maybe more about that in a book in the future.
Yeah, I think I wrote about brothers and sisters, but not really in the third book. I think I probably will explore that at some point because it's so complicated. It's almost as complicated as father-daughters. Brother-sister is tough. And I've got a boy and a girl and I see them,
Yeah.
and brothers belong to their sisters. Like that's it. Like my daughter is 2 years younger than Teddy, but she has her eye on him all the time. And like when they're sitting on the couch, she'll put her arm around him. He'll be like, ew, but she wants it's just the way
I watched this. I've got a grandson who's 9 and a granddaughter, his sister who's 6. I watched the same thing.
I
I didn't have a boy. I had daughters, and it's quite a different dynamic.
Yes, it is. And I've never had a sister, and I have all these incredible relationships with women. And I think I write about sisters because I want a sister. I've always wanted a sister. And my brother married this woman who, and of course he did, because him and I are polar opposites, but she's polar opposite of me. And so in the beginning, I was like, what the hell am I going to do? What are we going to talk about? Like, I don't even know. And now I love her. She's the greatest gift. So it's just
wonderful.
Yeah, and I mean, I never disliked her, but I was just like, we're totally different people. Like,
right.
She
know what your
double
commonalities would
PhD.
be.
Yeah, she just got her double master's PhD in sea ice.
Wow.
I mean, someone's got to do it, I mean,
I'm sorry, in what?
Sea ice. That was what she wrote her dissertation on.
Sea ice.
So she's very much an environmentalist.
Yeah, she's a storm chaser. So she lives in Oklahoma, and so that's where all the tornadoes are. I literally was listening to her dissertation, and in the family chat on the side, I was like, I'm a potato. I can't contribute to this at all. Like, I'm worried about like when my manicure appointment is, and like I'm not thinking about sea ice. Like, but I'm so glad that her brain is on that. Like
I am too. I'm thankful to know they're smart.
She reads spaghetti models. Like if a hurricane's coming, very useful. I'll call her and be like, hey, do we have to evacuate? She's like, nah. It's not.
Everyone needs someone like that in the family.
I'm telling you, she has turned out to be like the biggest gem. She's one of the biggest blessings in my life. And I love her so much.
It sounds fascinating.
She's great. Wow. But I still don't know what to talk to her about, but that's okay. We love each other. We respect each other.
Okay, but she's a nature person, and that leads into the next question. My maternal grandmother was a florist, and of course, it becomes very clear that you name some of your characters after flowers, and so I wondered if you wanted to talk about that for a minute. What the decision to do that?
Well,
Violet,
I'm an admirer of nature. Like I love nature outside. It's no desire to be in nature. No thanks. Like I kill every plant, although I love to garden. I killed everything. That's just not my thing. But the flower names just came to me. I wrote Magnolia first, and she was Maggie, but I didn't want her to be Margaret because I feel like there's just a lot, and I thought it would be cool to have her real name be Maggie. And then I was like, well, if she's Maggie, her sister's Violet. And then I was like, well, maybe all the women are flowers. And so I love that. I just thought it was cute, but I didn't intentionally sort of do it. Half of my writing, if not 75%, comes from someplace I have no idea where it is from. Yes. So like even when I'm writing Allie or when I was writing Violet and I was channeling like what I was going through, I don't think I even knew I was doing that until I read it later.
Sure.
That makes sense.
I understand completely.
Yeah. And especially with my Magnolia Summer, with my first book, there was so much that was in that book that I had been cooking for like 15 years. I mean, the story was in my head for a long time. Violet Hour I really wrote that book in 9 months. So it's just sort of, but with Magnolia, I didn't have a deadline. I could like take my time. And So the world building, I was able to luxuriate in that. And so I think that's where the flowers came from. My next book, none of them have flower names. So
well, I applaud it because I'm not all that good in the garden, but I am a flower lover. And
I'm a flower lover too.
Yeah.
Cut in a crystal vase. I don't want to deal with, yeah.
I like to see them growing too in the yard.
I like them in my yard. I mean, I love a gardenia. My neighbor in the new neighborhood, they have a bush that's like a whole wall of gardenias. And when
that's a good smell.
It's hypnotic. You know, you're like,
sure.
Yeah, it's great.
Oh, nice.
It's wonderful.
Naturally, discussing Thanksgiving a minute ago made me think about food.
Yeah.
You write in detail about a lot of yummy food in the novel, whether it's what the characters are eating or what they're planning for a meal. Talk to us a little about
and now I know what part of the reason, because your husband's a chef. So
am I.
Exactly. And you know, obviously that helps you a lot with the food and everything. And but I wanted you to talk a little more about that, about him and how he's involved in you know, your focus on the motif of food.
So he's not involved. I'm a little piglet myself, and I met him in culinary school. So before I was a writer, I was a chef. Wow. I'm always food driven. I don't think I can help myself. I will always write. I'm the hungriest girl in Charleston. I say that all the time. Like I could literally eat like 7 subs one after the other. I mean, I have a second stomach. I love food, and I love food. I love men. I love wine. I love fashion. I like perfume. I like things that just make you feel good. I'm a very like sensory driven person. And so there's nothing more intimate than making a meal, you know, and I think that food is a character on its own, and it sets the tone of what's going on. Like if you write a character and she's having a salad versus someone who's having a juicy burger, you're looking at 2 women that are very different women, you know, just based on their order.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, and it's also like, if it's a juicy burger, how does she eat the burger? Does she pick it up and eat it? Or is she like precious with it? Or is she like, I deserve this? And she's like an insufferable, you know, like one of those. It's like,
I'm only going to eat half of it.
Yeah. Or I'm going to treat myself with cheese, like that kind of nonsense. Like maybe. So I think food is sort of in a lot of ways like setting, where it sort of shapes the characters without talking. And I think that's important.
Food really is practically a supporting character in this book.
Yep.
If Violet hosted all of us for supper, what's one dish you'd insist she serve?
I think Violet probably has a Rolodex of perfect recipes. And I bet Violet's going to do something very traditional and Southern. It's probably going to be a casserole. Like, because she's not a cook. You know, she cooks, but she has a gran and a sister who are chefs. So she doesn't do a lot of that. So I bet you she's got like 5 or 10 things that she whips out that work every time. She doesn't have to think about it. You know, I bet she works that Instapot in her crock pot like nobody's business. Probably something traditional like a pot roast of potatoes, something she could throw all in one crock pot and pull out and make everybody happy. Like that just seems like Violet to me.
It sounds good.
Yeah, I want pot roast. Like that sounds great. I'm gonna fire up my crock pot tonight.
Sounds good. Yeah. And you know, Susan, her last oh gosh, she made me hungry all throughout the book reading it. You know, just all this divine, delectable description, just like yours. And I mean, I've got quite an appetite myself.
Yeah, hungry. That's part of being Southern too. I mean, we're so driven. Everything we do, all of our social engagements, it all has food. Like rarely food. Yeah, like I have my neighbor girls come over here once a week and we play mahjong. There's always snacks. You know.
Oh yeah, my younger daughter plays mahjong once a week. Always snacks and wine.
Yeah, snacks and wine. I do. I mean, I do a league. I play in a league every Tuesday, and then I have them over every Wednesday, or sometimes in the weekends. But when we're like fast, I mean, we like to play.
Same thing with book club.
Yes.
I mean, it's an excuse for wine and either snacks or a meal. Usually we have a meal.
I do a meal with my book when I was in a book club. I miss my book club.
Oh, you know, I just started a new one, and this is a new concept, like with neighborhood friends. And it's kind of like everybody come who can, and, you know, a big group, and it's potluck. So everybody bring
great idea.
Both a dish, but also the books you've read this month that you love. So everybody's not reading the same book.
And that's
So we
cool.
used to have like 2 or 3 that we really enjoyed, and we just go around and talk about them and recommend them to each other.
I
And that
love
way
that.
everybody reads what they want to. Nobody's ever unhappy about what they're reading.
There's no pressure.
No pressure. And we all talk about books.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
And that
You know,
potluck idea comes right out of your novel.
Yeah. What's a book that you read recently that you really loved?
Oh gosh, I really love Victoria Benton Frank's latest.
Thank you.
There you go.
That's a good answer, Susan. I just finished City of Nightbirds.
Yeah.
And I was blown away by it. I thought it was
Yeah.
such good writing. It's an Asian American writer, and it's about the Russian ballerinas and sort of like their life, and like it's one in particular, but like her whole life, like growing up in Russia, being a ballerina, and then coming to America and touring in Europe and all this. And it's like really, it's just, I think it is such a great example of a showcase of what makes a great novel. It's I'm not a competitive ballerina, so like I'm obviously like. And I read Taylor Jenkins Reid Atmosphere. I'm not a lesbian in the 90s astronaut, but I get a perspective into this world that I otherwise wouldn't.
Right,
And it
Right.
right.
gives me such empathy for other
Right.
walks of life. I just think it's so great.
What is the title again, Victoria?
Well, Atmosphere is Taylor Jenkins
Yeah,
Reid.
I
The
know
ballerina
that.
is called City of Nightbirds.
City of Nightbirds.
And it's beautiful.
I just, after finishing yours, I read Ann Tyler's latest 3 Days in June, and that
I
was
haven't read that yet. I love it.
it's just, I mean, it's not high drama. It's just Ann Tyler. It's just domestic and what she can do with
Great.
people without, it's a beautiful book.
I think that is a really interesting topic where it's not high drama and it's just an easy pace, and you could have a window into somebody else's life. Like
Right.
I'm
And
reading.
it's about people my age. So there you go.
I like that. I'm Graham's your age, I think.
That's
she's
true.
yeah.
That's
Like
true.
I love women. I don't care
Yeah.
if you're 2 or if you're 100. Like, and there's always a phase in a woman's life where she's more than one, constantly reinventing herself and reshaping her image within the world and her peers. And so I think I'll always write about women that are roughly my age and older who.
Right.
Because
The
that's life.
and it's like you said, the life around you, what you're living through gives
Yeah.
you your inspiration. And,
Yeah.
and I've always believed in writing what you know.
I
Right.
really
And
think
what-
that,
yeah,
and
what
you
you're
got to
going
write
through.
the ugly too. You got to write that stuff that you're afraid to write about too. I think fear is something that we all battle as humans. And I think that certainly I was afraid to write something so personal because it didn't necessarily make me look so good, but it made me look at myself and make some changes and some shifts in perspective. That was
Right. And it gives, and it's the human experience is something. That's why we read.
exactly. And that's why we write. That's why we write, because we need to get it out somehow. We can't. Yeah.
That's right. That's
You
right.
know-
Well, so all right, it's Tonomat characters and talking about fitting in. So Pat Dupuis had another question, and this one's, I like the fact that she's pulling out, we tend to talk about main characters, so I think it's really cool to sort of bring in secondary sometimes.
agree.
So she says Joyce is such a pill, and she was probably one of those moms whose baby sat up, walked, talked, etc. Supper was same time every night, and like, what's George thinking? And she says he must be one of those men who likes someone looking after him and telling him what to do. But maybe talk just a second or a minute about where Joyce comes from.
I don't think I legally can.
All right, enough said. Love it. All right, Pat, you heard that.
No, I mean, that one didn't take a lot of research. That's what I'll say for that one. That was a very,
Okay.
yeah.
All right then. Well, I hate to keep harping on food, but
I'm starving now. This conversation, I'm starving.
Karen Lynn wants to know if you would write a cookbook, please. The food from the Magic Lantern all sounds divine.
Yes, I would. It's in the ethers right now. My husband and I have talked about collaborating on one for years now. And so I think I need a few more books out before I can generate a publishing house to back me up, because they are expensive to make. So
Sure.
maybe I would love it. I'd love to do that.
Wonderful. But
Yeah.
we would look
So we'll
forward.
look-
After
yeah, we're
reading
looking
all the
forward to
food in
that.
that book, be looking forward.
I'd love to
that.
include my mother's recipes too. I think
Oh.
where I'm going, my trajectory of my career right now is lifestyle, esque adjacent. And I'm doing some cooking videos. I have 2 out on my Instagram. There are more coming. And it's my mother's books were full of food. So wouldn't it be cool to have a cookbook where her stuff and my stuff and our stuff and his stuff and everything was just kind of put together, and inspired by the characters in our book, but also just being a Southern woman and frankly, being an American. Because at this point, like, we're such a melting pot.
That's
I have like enchiladas on Monday and like carbonara on Tuesday and, fried chicken on Wednesday and taco Thursday. Like, we mix it up.
And isn't it great that we can do that? I mean,
Yes.
just sample all these different things and all these different cultures in 1 week. And I do the same exact thing. We have, multiple menus from different cultures, every week. And I love it.
I love that.
Butter chicken, one of my favorites anymore. We'll have butter chicken.
I love butter chicken.
Yeah, me too.
So good. There's a new Indian that just opened up, an Indian restaurant just opened up in Charleston called Ravat. I may be butchering that, but the food looks so good, and they have butter chicken. They have all these creative stuff, but they have the butter chicken. I'm like, that's like the Caesar salad of Indian food.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta have it on your menu. But God, is it so good.
Well, we're going to look forward to that cookbook.
Yes, we are. I'm already looking forward to
I'd
that.
like to do it. I'd like to. Do it.
And so here's one more question from someone in the group. Laura Van Vasquez asked if you would please speak a little bit about the twist with Allie and Violet and Charlie Chris. She says, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, I just thought it would be more slimy and sleazy and funny. It's like sometimes my editor will be like, raise the stakes, and I'm like, okay, because I get very caught up. One of my weaknesses is that I get really caught up in the setting and the talk, and they could talk about nothing and it's funny, but like something has to happen. So that was the thing. That was I wanted to build up to him just being like really slimy and sleazy, and he's a coward.
It was a good one.
Yeah, and then in the end, he runs away. Like, he doesn't even deal with it. He's like, bye. He just like leaves, and he's like, what? Like, out of the window of his bedroom. Like, you can't be a man and talk to us. But like, that's his problem, and that's his weakness in the first book. It's just amplified in the second book, and you see somebody's true colors, and then they finally believe them, and they're like, this guy's a POS. So let's move on. And I love that the girls are just like, shit. Like, and they're instead of being like, they don't turn on each other, just like, And it's kind of similar to my first book with Sam, how he dated Violet first and then he dated Maggie, but that happens in the South. It's a small town.
Everything is a small town.
There's only so many hot pediatricians out there, So.
We don't want to let one go to waste.
Right.
We can share. Okay. All right. So tell us, when readers turn the last page, what do you hope stays with them?
I mean, I write escapist fiction, so I hope that they feel like they just went on vacation, and they feel like they had a few days or a few hours or whatever, how long some of these people read so fast. I wish I'd slow the heck down. But I hope you enjoyed your time with me. I hope I entertained you, and I hope these women, remind you to be brave, remind you to speak your truth, remind you to cherish family, that life is short. And to fall in love. I think not be afraid, not to be brave, not be afraid of loving someone, whether that's a father or a sister or a grandma or a boyfriend or a child or whatever. Like, I think the power of love and communication and family is what I hope you always take with you in my books. And I will probably make you hungry.
And take the risk. I think that's a lot of
take risks. Yes. Yeah. Be brave. Like, take risks, roll the dice a little bit, because life's short and man, it can go fast. So like, just
wait. Wait till it's coming up on his 70th birthday.
I'm having like moments. I mean, Teddy, my son, is 8, but he's really like 65. He's like a little, he really truly is like, he's like my father 2.0, like in every single way. It freaks me out on a regular basis. But like Thea's in kindergarten now. And I have these pictures of their like fat little hands with the dimples in them, and they're like fat legs. And part of me is like, I want another one. And then I'm like, no, like, no.
Changes fast. Yeah, I don't know. where does your time come from to write? That's really my last question. I mean, you play
grab it.
mahjong every week. I'm not smart enough to play mahjong. You've got 2 children whom you're taking to school every day.
Yeah.
Tell our audience a little bit about your writing process.
My writing process is as chaotic as raising children allows me. I mean, I grab it when I can. I'm under deadline. So like there are a lot of hours where my husband has to step in and be like, I got to be mommy now. Like you can't bother her. This doors are shut. She's got to work. But I try to write when they're in school, you know, and I play mahjong at night. So and that's all I do. Like I literally, I'm constantly working. Like I'm just one of those people that is constantly doing something with an opportunity to further the brand, the books, the whatever. I mean, even when I'm at mahjong, I bring my little, QR code to buy my book. Like I'm everywhere. Like I go to dinner and then I photograph it, and social media plays such a big part in our lives now. Yes. So if I'm at a restaurant, I'm promoting the restaurant, they invite me back, and then I go back and I like have my book on the table with a glass of wine. It's always, it's a hustle,
an ongoing thing.
Yeah. And like, I'm never not working, like in some capacity. The only time I'm not is when I'm playing mahjong. That's Tuesday nights. And it's from 6 to 8, and that's it.
It's your escape.
Yeah. And it's my me time, or when I'm reading, my children, it's funny. Like I had such a moment where I was like, I have done what I need to do with these kids. Cause Thea can't read yet. She's learning, but she likes to pretend that she's reading. So she'll put a book out and she'll be like, don't talk to me. I'm reading. I'm reading. Cause that's what I do to the kids. Like this is special sacred time, so they think it's something special to read a book. And so I love that.
Yeah.
It's like, that is a proud mommy moment.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Okay, so we had a few versions of this question in the group. Suffice to say, we're all curious. Will you continue Violet, Allie, Gran, and Magnolia's story? Will there be more books in the series, or will you be exploring new characters? What can we expect from you next?
So my next book is a continuation in the world, but new women. So one of the characters, the way I link the third book is that one of the characters is a pastry chef at the Magic Lantern. So, and Maggie is going on maternity leave. So she's having a baby. So we get a little update from the first book into the third book, but it's really like 2 or 3 sentences. It's really Izzy's story. And she's her own, she's an Italian American. She lives in Charleston. That's one of my characters. Another character is Zoe and Annie. They're sisters. Annie's a high-power attorney living in New York, and Zoe is a mom completely swallowed in motherhood, and she's trying to figure out who she is, all these damn kids, so but they know of the Magic Lantern. One of them works there, but like they don't really socialize with those women. But they know them, and you'll hear about them, because I think as a reader, I always want to know what's going on with the other characters. And I may one day write Daisy's story, who is Rose's mother, and how she founded the Magic Lantern. Which will be historical fiction, which is going to be really interesting. But right now it's writing women within my Sullivan's Island that I'm working on.
Okay.
Yeah. So new women.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Victoria, for spending time with us here in the Lowcountry Book Club. We've loved hearing about the Violet Hour. We know our readers are going to be talking about Violet, Allie, and Gran long after today.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you for having me.
I love your effervescence and
your
energy.
I love y'all.
And so thank you for all of the talk, the laughter, talking about the reality of grief. And we'll just look forward to what's coming next, to Izzy's story.
Yeah, Izzy's and Annie's and Zoe's.
Whole new that cookbook.
We're not going to cookbook. Yeah, I know. I got to get it together.
There's a rhythm there. Izzy, Annie, Zoe. There's a good rhythm there.
Izzy, Annie, Zoe. Yep.
For everyone who watches our interview, thank you so much for joining us. Your questions, your comments, your love for stories like these are what make us, everyone in this group, feel like this is a real community. Thank you all so much.
Yes, thank you. And if you haven't picked up the Violet Hour yet, be sure that you treat yourself.
Pick up 2. I got 2 kids, 2 book minimum.
All right. Well, thank you again, and have a great one. And we will see you hopefully when the next book comes out.
Yes, you guys too. Thank you
for joining us.
Bye.
Bye-bye.